Hello every fur, and welcome to another video of making fursuits with Luna. So today, we're going to be redoing Luna's nose. I'm going to do a pickable nose, and this is kind of going to be a tutorial, I think, maybe, almost? But yeah, okay, so for this we're going to need seam ripper, we're going to need paper, we're going to need hot glue, fur fabric, or minky fabric. I'm using fur fabric, but shaved fur fabric. 1 or 2 inch foam, 1 inch is preferred, but yeah. And I think that should be it. But yeah, okay, we're gonna get straight into this. Here we go. We're gonna start by just taking your nose off. Ooh! Oh my gosh. Crusty. Snoot! Ah! No snoot. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to take a piece of paper and we're going to trace this so that we know the size. Or you can make it a little bit bigger, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to do this, and yep, here we go. So once we have our snoot traced out on the paper, we're going to cut it out and do the next step. Okay, so now we're going to trace this shape onto our foam, and we are going to cut it out. Okay, now that we have our snoot shape, we're going to put a line at the top of where the nostril is going to start and at the bottom of where the nostril is going to start. Okay, these 2 lines. Keep those in mind. Now cut out your shape. Okay, now that you have your shape cut out, trace it 1 more time onto your foam and cut out another piece, but slightly bigger. Okay? Now that we have our 2 pieces, we're going to take our smaller piece and we are going to do something with it. So you guys remember those 2 lines from before? We are actually going to carve a canal down these lines. So that's going to look something like this. Ta-da! Now take your time on this part and make it as smooth as you possibly can. It's kind of a little bit important. But yeah, now we have this carved out little space in this part. So we're going to take our bigger piece, and we're not going to glue this yet, but this part is going to go on top like this. You see? So this piece is slightly bigger because we're going to shave it down and shape it to this piece. So, yep. Now we're going to take your hot glue gun here and glue only the top part. Only this part. Only this part, not this part, just this one, down to here. Make sure it's as close in the middle as possible. So it's going to be like this. There we go. Now we got this piece glued down, and it's looking good. So now we are going to shape and carve this to look like a nose. So here we go. Okay, now, when you're done with carving, you should have a giant messy pile of foam and a snoot-like item. Perfect. So now we're going to do the outside part. So that's why we didn't glue this. It's because we need to pattern. So let's get our tape and let's pattern this right up. Little tip while you're patterning the inside of the nose. Use a pin to hold down this front part. A pin or a sewing needle because I don't have any pins. But to check where your tape is and see if it's looking good. Okay, now, once you have the inside patterned, you're going to take the pattern out, and we're going to mark it and cut it. Now we place our pattern onto our fabric, and we cut it out. Now that we have our pattern cut out, we are going to sew it together. Like this. Here we go. Got our pieces sewed all together. I would recommend using either a ladder stitch or a blanket stitch. I used a ladder stitch. So now we are going to put this inside. Here we go. Okay, now that we have this part in, we are going to glue down this piece. Okay, now our pickable fursuit nose is almost complete. Next, we just have to pattern and sew on the rest of the fur. Alrighty. Now that we got the nose fur all sewed together, we just have to put it onto our base I'm probably going to glue it because I'm lazy. Also, I don't know how I'd sew it. And yeah, let's go on do that now. Meow. There we go. The fur is all on. Nose hole is existent. I can't. Yes. Now all we got to do is we got to get it onto here. Probably going to do a little bit of sewing and a little bit of gluing. Yep, here we go. The Pickable snoot is done. Yippee! Tell me what you guys think. Boop, boop.